Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Real sound. Renegade sound. That's how we go. Stepping in on street on the road. Once it's serious, that's how we call it. What up, what up? Welcome to my channel where we're doing music covers, original music, album reviews, song reviews, reactions, tier lists, whatever the day calls for. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to the channel. If you have content on here, I will subscribe to you as well. I am all about supporting up-and-comers on here. My original music can be found at robcary.bandcamp.com. I have one album to my name right now. It is quite a few years old. It is called Communication. It can be heard in full there. And I'm in the studio working on the follow-up to that album. It will be called Ugly Living, and the first single to promote that album is coming on Friday, September 20th. Super excited to share it with the world. This is the most excited I've been to do a reaction for a while. I've been waiting for this for a long time. 311 has been my favorite band since 1997. I was 14 years old. And I can't put into words how grateful I am that my favorite band has never changed members, never stopped touring, never slowed down, broke up. They're just a machine that just keeps on moving. Things did slow down a little bit because of COVID after their last album, which was Voyager from 2019. Their 1997 album, Transistor, is not only my favorite album of all time, but I consider it the beginning of my musical journey, and it really got me to pick up the guitar and take it seriously, start learning to sing. I got it on Christmas morning when I was 14 after begging for it. Like, I never even had heard the band before, but just the album cover, the song titles, the whole vibe surrounding it, just from the artwork alone, just made me want this album so bad. And when I got it, I was just blown away by what I was hearing. It was so different than anything that was out at the time. And I've loved them ever since. I've seen them live 5 times. The most recent time being 2 months ago. I drove 2.5 hours to Cleveland to see them. And I got a live clip on the channel that I took at the show of the song Champagne. And they are still so tight live. And it sounded so much like the original, with them being like in their 50s, that the video actually got a copyright claim on it. Like, YouTube recognized the song because it sounds so much like it. But I'm so excited for this. They got a new song. It's called Need Somebody. And this long-awaited new album has finally been announced. It's called Full Bloom. When I found out about Transistor from like 14, when I was 15, 16, like all the way up till like I was 19, I ate, slept, and breathed this band. I actually have Transistor on CD and on vinyl. Love this album. Once I turned 19, 20, and I started playing in bands, like metal bands, I kind of entered my musical elitist phase where I just did nothing but listen to metal, you know, and where they were around like Don't Tread on Me and Uplifter, I consider those their worst albums anyway. But then in 2011, this came out, Universal Pulse, and I saw it only had 8 songs, and I was just kind of curious. I was like, it's 8 songs. It ain't going to take up that much of my time. And I thought this was a great stepping stone back to greatness after a couple of albums. And this was the album that got me to kind of dive back into those old records and fall in love with the band again and remember why this is my favorite band. The future is looking bright for these guys, man. Age has not slowed them down at all. They were incredible live when I saw them a couple months ago, and I'm just super excited for this album. I really like the artwork for the cover, and let's just get into this, man. 311 with their brand new song, Need Somebody. Let's get into it.
I got caught in the undertow. Tried to ride a wave, got pulled below. Couldn't bring myself to wave my hands, cause I thought they could see me from the sand. But now don't get me wrong, I know someone has been there all along. That's just how I've been feeling all the time. Caught in the undertow, move quick, it'll take you out. The more you try to hide them away, the stronger they become every day. The further that you drift in the dark, connection foundation's breaking, you fall apart. Now I know you're gonna need somebody, need somebody. You're gonna need somebody, need somebody. You're gonna need somebody, need somebody.
So the last song that 311 came out with to promote this new album, You're Gonna Get It, I liked it a lot, and I thought it had some of their best vocal delivery in years. And if I were going to react to that song, I would probably give it like an 8.5 or maybe even like an 8.7. Like I really liked it, and I didn't think it sounded like any of their other stuff really. And the vocals were just done really, really well. But despite that, that song ended up being really polarizing amongst 311 fans. There were some fans that hated the song and fans that really, really liked it and saw it as one of the best things they've done in a really long time. It seemed to be a pretty polarizing song, which just kind of surprised me, honestly. But this one, I think the old school fans who have at least stuck around for like Universal Pulse and Stereolithic, I think they're going to dig this one more. This song reminds me of Universal Pulse or Stereolithic. I think this song could have fit in on either of those. Really liked S.A. Martinez's rap section and all of his backup harmonies. The more they utilize him, the happier I am. And I know a lot of 311 fans feel that way. I definitely prefer him rapping over Nick rapping these days, just because Nick's voice has gotten so much lower than it used to be. But these guys have given me so much great music over the years and have enhanced my life so much, and I do credit them for pretty much being the beginning of my musical journey, that at this point I'm just glad they're still here. I'm glad it's the same five guys, and I'm just glad they're still around. Like, I go back and forth all the time of who my favorite member of this band is. At the end of the day, it's probably Peanut, and I know so many 311 songs on bass, and he's made me a better bass player. I was going to give You're Gonna Get It an 8.5. I would give this one maybe like an 8. It's a little bit under, in my view, on the first listen, you know? The parts where Nick was rapping and like that lead in about the undertow where it has kind of like the Linkin Park vibes, I wasn't wowed about those particular parts, but all the harmonized singing and the main hook and S.A.'s parts and just the classic riffage from Tim Mahoney and shit, like, you know, they're doing what they do at this point, but by the numbers. But I still think it's a hell of a lot better than anything that's on, like, Don't Tread on Me and Uplifter. And I think it would have fit right in on, like, Stereolithic is the album I'm thinking of the most with this track. If there's one thing I hope for this album, you know, like I said, I'm just along for the ride at this point. I'm super grateful that they're still here. But the wish that I have for this album is I'm hoping there's at least one or maybe even two of the really psychedelic, trippy, new agey kind of reggae songs that they did on Transistor, like Inner Light Spectrum and Stealing Happy Hours, two of my favorite 311 songs. I actually played Stealing Happy Hours when I saw them live. That's another thing about this particular live show that I just saw in Cleveland, is compared to when I saw them in 2019, I was at that show that was live streamed, the Pittsburgh one. That one was really single heavy. There was a lot more deep cuts this time around. We got Plane on the set list, Tade, songs I love, Stealing Happy Hours, Champagne, which I posted on the channel. And all right, this is probably going to be the last video I post before I drop my own song on Friday, and I really hope to see you guys there. I'm super excited for this. This is going to be my first new song in 8 years. That's how long it's been since my first album came out. I really hope to see you all there. I thank you for taking the time out of your day to check this out, this reaction to this new 311 song. And that's all I got to say about this one. Until next time, thanks for watching.